Hello. I feel like I'm doing a video job interview for Alan Sugar because I've got a blazer on, but let me show you my outfit. I'm going out, got jeans, and I've got Timberlands on because I'm cool, guys. I'm proud of this purchase. I'm one of those people who's very late to the trend party, whether it's clothes. Oh, my nails are on trend as well. Like, them rings are a bit cringe actually. Let me show you them. Them rings are also a bit cringe, but it is what it is. But yeah, I got burgundy nails and I've got Timberlands because look at them. Oh, there's a sticker. Oh no, there's not a sticker on. I got them because I can be quite a trendy hun. I wear very like oversized fits and very boxy. That suits my shape. But I'm always late to the trend party, so any trend that happens, I'm there when it finishes. So I thought it'd be trendy. But I'm dressed up and I don't think you've seen me with makeup on before. Hi, I'm Chloe if you haven't met me before because you've not seen me like this. But I'm just going for dinner. I'm just going to meet my friends. I'm actually supposed to leave in about 10 minutes. So yeah, I'm going to chat to you before I go because I did actually record this video I've been in London all week with work and I sat and I recorded it and then the battery ran out on my camera and I also had to go in 10 minutes. So I just decided to re-record the whole thing. And if it takes longer than 10 minutes, then dinner's gonna have to wait. So yeah, I wanted to talk to you this week about career, and I did kind of plan it out. What I do is I usually write just like a topic on my phone every week of an area that I feel like I can add value, or I feel like I've overcome, or that I'm good at. And then I kind of just come on here and I talk about it. And I had to talk about career and like growing in your career and being successful in your career. And then I've had a fucking smashing week at work and I thought, what a fitting topic. What a topic to talk about when you've had a banging week at work. So I've definitely said on here before, but I run a YouTube channel for a high street retailer. And I think a few of you follow me on LinkedIn, so you'll know which retailer. It's not a secret. But, and then I also run, why am I sweating? I have hyperventilation issues. It's not even hot in here. I've been freezing all day. But then I run a couple of podcast channels, which are really exciting, and eventually I want to grow them out into, oh, that's the plan anyway. My plans change all the time, but my thoughts right now is to grow those podcasts out into a bit of an agency and train people up how to run podcasts. And it's all very good and all very exciting, but YouTube kind of came as such a surprise to my career. When I got asked to run a YouTube channel, I was like, no, go away. I don't want to do it. I don't know who works in YouTube. I don't know anything about YouTube. I've never watched a YouTube video, like legit, never. I'd never heard of any YouTube talent. Like, it just wasn't for me. And so my background was in fact, let me just reverse back. So I'm from Bradford. Rep Bradford. If you're from there, get out, because I promise you won't ever regret it. I'm just joking. Bradford's okay, but it's a crazy place to grow up. If you've ever been, you'll know exactly what I mean. And if you're from there, you will 100% know what I mean. But I'm from Bradford. I wanted to leave at 25 to go and work for brands. Like, I was obsessed with wanting to work in a beauty brand. I wanted to do global marketing. I wanted to like live this high life. I wanted to work in a big office. And so off I went at 25 and I grafted and grafted and grafted, and I went to so many interviews and was told, no, you're not experienced enough, you're not good enough, like you don't know enough about beauty. I worked in beauty, I did like beauty events, really cool actually, but I just didn't have experience in what I needed. Anyway, I then got offered a job at Rimmel. It was a really high up role and it was just bad. It went from like bad to worse, but every day. And I used to come home and cry every day. But I was like, at the time, I just thought that I was doing a bad job. And now I look back and I'm like, I was just so inexperienced. And I was on like the global team. I had a really high up role, like decision making. And I just did not know what the fuck I was doing. And my managers were like, you're shit. And I was like, I know, but I don't know what I'm doing. It was just a horrendous, horrendous time. So I was there for a year and I was on a contract and then I left. Then it was COVID. Then I went to work at a beauty brand, another beauty brand, a skincare brand, to launch an influencer brand. And again, horrendous, horrendous, because I had no experience in marketing. I didn't go to uni. I didn't know any marketing jargon. I didn't know what like CTR meant. I didn't know what influence marketing was. I didn't know anything. So I kind of got this role and then they were like, you're shit. And I was like, I know, but I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, they then demoted me. I don't even know if they're allowed to do this, but they demoted me. And I was like, this is not the vibe. I'd always wanted to work for like beauty brands. And I was like, this is just, something's off. Like, why is this me? Like, what is wrong? Anyway, then I need to speed this up a bit, don't I? Then I moved to Manchester and I got my first role when I was at college was in JD Sports, right? I was a big chav when I was younger. I was a bit rough. And so JD Sports was great for me then. Then I went to London, I thought I was this big posh girl. Then I came back and I'd like grown up a bit and I was all like beauty. And then I got offered a job at JD. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this, but it was for influencer marketing and I wanted to get really good at influencer marketing. So I went. Fast forward 6 months, they asked me to run YouTube. And that was 2 years ago. And when I tell you that the decision to say yes changed my whole life, like my career, but also my life and how I look at things and my confidence and my security and the trust that I have in myself, because I've finally found something that I'm really good at and I get it and I find it easy, but challenging. Like, not easy, I can't just go in and do it. I've had to completely teach myself from the ground up, and I'm still learning every day, and I'm not the best at it. I'm not like the best person there is. I'm good at it, but I'm not the best person there is. But I'm just thriving and surviving. And so it's taken me 8 minutes to get to this point, but I wanted to do a video on how to, one, get out of a situation that you are not loving if you're in a work situation and it feels icky, but also how to just back yourself at work, because work is the one area of my life that just goes, sorry, I'm just standing up and sitting back down. It just goes from strength to strength to strength, and I'm going to use the word thrive, but I thrive, and it's the one place where I'm just completely secure. I'm completely myself. I feel so comfortable. I feel content. I feel like I trust my decisions. I make decisions really well. And so I just wanted to say, like, if you are in a situation that feels icky or that feels like it doesn't fit, or that feels disappointing or disharming, or is disharming a word, or just like takes away from your soul and your happiness, it's because it's not the right thing for you. It doesn't mean you're failing. It doesn't mean that your employer's a dickhead. It means that the fit's not right. It's not right for you. It's like a relationship. Like, if you're in a relationship that is not, that's like, you're like this all the time, and I don't mean sexually, I mean like if you're literally butting heads all the time and something's off, it's time to either work through it or to part ways. And so it's literally the same with your career. If it just feels icky, then don't be scared to move on. Like, I have had 1,700,000 jobs in loads of different things, and this is the first time I've genuinely wanted to stay somewhere and figure it out and get shit done and boss bitch the channel, and it's really starting to pay off. So this week, for example, I spoke at a huge conference in front of 300 people with Channel 4, with ITV, with channels like The Sidemen. It was great, and I actually wrote a LinkedIn post about it. I think I did put my LinkedIn, I'll put my LinkedIn link in the video, because, sorry, I'm getting distracted by my phone. I'll put my LinkedIn link down below, because I write a lot on there about just backing yourself and how to win, a lot about YouTube, but also a lot of like mindset, emotional stuff when it comes to work and how to push yourself a bit further. So yeah, if you are on LinkedIn, follow me, because we can have combos. I also wanted to talk about goal setting. So I have gone around the houses on this, and I'm not going to talk about personal goal setting here because that's another video. But I am going to talk about career goal setting, and actually I can tie in personal goals because I have done it completely different to what I have ever done it before this year. And I started in January, and what I've always done in the past is I've done a vision board because Roxy Diffuse does a vision board, or I've set these stupid goals, usually around health and fitness, to run a 10k, to do this diet, to get on this salary, like, and it's always been way too big because I'm here and the goal that I'm setting is here. So what I did this year is I've written quarterly goals. So I've written goals for where I want to be. This is January and this is December. And I've written goals for, I wrote goals here for here, if that makes sense. I don't know if this is going to be flipped around actually, but anyway, you'll have to follow along. And what I did is I broke it into quarters. So I did January to March and what are the goals I wanted to achieve to get me to the goal that I want to get to in December. Same from April to June, July to September, October to December. And let me tell you, it is a game changer. I've done them for, I broke them down into career, personal, relationships, and health and fitness, and hobbies, lifestyle kind of stuff. And they're not rigid. And this is honestly the first year in my entire life where I've written them at the start of the starting month of the quarter, gone away, come back 12 weeks later, and I've literally checked every single one off. And call it manifesting, call it what you will, but the only reason that I've been able to hit the goals is because I broke them down into tangible goals, like me included, but so many people set goals that is like 50k plus salary to what you're on, or 30k or 20k or whatever. And depending on you and your situation, it's not always possible, it's not always reasonable, especially if you're staying at the same employer. Like a 30k salary increase, I'm just speaking generally here, but a 30k salary increase is not possible in a year. And so do you need to move jobs or whatever? So that goal then doesn't become a goal of getting a 30k plus salary increase. It becomes get a new job at so-and-so, because you know at that company they scale quick. Like, it's working backwards from the goal. Does that make sense? So yeah, I did it about my career and finances. I did it about, yeah, finances in general actually, and I did savings goals. When I tell you, I've never been able to save, just honestly, hand on heart. I've always been okay with money and I've always earned okay, but I have never, ever, ever been able to save. And this year, I'm investing, I've got savings pots, I've been able to go on holiday, like dream holidays, all because of this system that I've put in place. So, oh, this is actually turned into a goal. So I should do a video fully on this, shouldn't I? I can do actually, let me know if you need one or if you want one. Yeah, I did it on finances, I've done it on, what else did I do it on? I actually did it on more than the 4 topics. I did it on home, career, finances, home. I should have actually got them out. Hobbies, health and fitness. I think they were my main ones. Relationships. Yeah, I did it on those. And then I've just literally broken them down. And my life's moving. Like, for the first time in what feels like forever, I feel like my life is moving and the pressure's gone because I'm ticking off the things on my goal list and I'm achieving them. So again, it just goes back to the trust in yourself. Sorry, I went off on a bit of a tangent then on goal setting. God, I was passionate there, wasn't I? But going back to the workplace and becoming secure in yourself, I said it, but this genuinely, the last 2 years is the first time that I've been really secure. And I spoke to my therapist about this. Is that a line that I'm going to repeat in every video 500 times? But I did speak to my therapist about this. And I was like, why am I so great at, well, like, why does everything just tick over at work? I don't overthink it. I don't question myself. I don't feel bad about myself. I don't beat myself up for saying the wrong thing. Like, I just go in, I smash it, and I come home. And she was like, it's because your status at work is secure. Your, not my status, but you know, your style, like your relationship style, your attachment style. So it's the equivalent of my attachment style for work being secure. So it means that I just fully back myself. And so a lot of what I try and communicate, I do it through my actions, I do it through my work, I do it through trying to be good, I do it through going out of my way to learn something new, I do it through setting my own goals. So I work on a YouTube channel, so growth is very easy to measure. It's subscribers, or it's views, or it's different talent, or kind of how it performs elsewhere. And so the success of the channel is my success, really. So I go and set goals for the channel itself, and then that shows the business that I'm really invested in this. And so I do a lot of communication at work through action. I think we talk about it in relationships, don't we? Like, action is way more important than words. Like, I know a lot of my friends, we talk about, God, he says it all, but like there's no follow-up. Like, he says he's going to do this and he doesn't do it, like blah, blah, blah. There's never any action. Whereas at work, yeah, I find it quite hard to say how I'm feeling or what I want or what I'm thinking in certain situations, because in some situations I'm a boss and I can really like just say what I need and say what I want. But there is in some situations where it's a one-to-one, or you're asking for a salary increase, and it's quite hard. And so I do really try and show that in what I do. I'm repeating myself here, but I do it by going out and learning something new, or going above and beyond, and not just because I want to show off, because I actually want to grow and I want to learn and I want a pay rise and I want all of this stuff. And so if you're sat in a corner thinking, I really want a salary increase, I really want a salary increase, and then getting to your annual review or whatever, and then you're really pissed off because it doesn't come, not most of the time, but some of the time that's on you. Like, you're responsible for your own growth, whether you work for a massive company, for yourself, or for a small company, or wherever you work, freelance, whatever. You're responsible for your own growth. And like I said before, like, if you're feeling stagnant, whether it's because you're not motivated or you're not enjoying your work, or people at work are dicks, because people at work are dickheads sometimes. We spoke about that on another video. Or you're just not gelling. Like, you can do something about that. You know, like, if work is not rewarding you in a way that you want to be rewarded, either do something about it or move on. Like, find another situation that works for you. But I will say, do notice if you're the problem. Like, I fully get that some businesses are difficult to work for, and some businesses aren't for everyone, and some businesses are really, they can be really toxic. Workplaces can be toxic, but if it's not for you, move on. I do always say this tip actually to people at work, or so I chat to some people on LinkedIn who are a bit more junior and they want to kind of come up in the career and they're not sure how to, and or they're not enjoying their workplace. I always say to them, what's the one thing you want right now? So for me, it's network. Like, I really, really want to build a network, and I want to build my name in YouTube. And honestly, they're the two things that I focus on. But they're the two things that I focus on, and I honestly gun for them, and I do not let anyone get in my way. And as long as I'm fulfilling those two things on a weekly, regular basis, I'm happy and I'm content. Like, all of the other stuff comes. But I would say, like, if you are struggling at work, focus, look at your surroundings and what can you get out of that situation, because you've got to be selfish, man. You've got to be selfish in a workplace, whether it's a small company or a large company. So many people, women especially, feel like they've got to hide or shy away, or they can't speak up in a work environment. And I'm sorry, but it's not true. It's really not true. It's way more difficult for women than it is for men. But if you're passionate and you've got enough about you, you can get to where you want to be. It's just about becoming secure and backing yourself a little bit more and building trust in yourself at work. One thing that a lot of people also, I feel like this has turned into a bit of a rant, and I didn't want that, but I feel I'm getting into work mode. You know, someone said to me the other day after that talk, I was really nervous at the beginning. There was honestly 300 people, a massive stage. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you will have seen it, and like a little mic in front of us. And I was talking on the first one, and I was like, ugh. And then it got to 5 minutes in, and I was like fierce. And someone came over to me afterwards, and they were like, fucking hell, where did you come from? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, you were so quiet for the first 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden you became this like fiery, like firecracker on stage, and I was like, don't mess with my career, like I'm so sassy up there. But you've got to really fight for what you want. I was telling you that because I know I said earlier, I'm going to contradict myself here a little bit, but I know I said earlier about I find it hard to say what's on my mind. What I meant was I find it hard to talk about, well, I said it didn't have money and asking for things that I think are above what I should be asking for. Isn't it funny that we do that? Like, we all go to work to get paid, yet the one thing we're all shit scared to ask for is money. Mental. I need to work on that, and I am going to work on it, and I'll come back when I've figured it out. I do have some money, by the way. I just asked for it in a very roundabout way, and I do all right. I do okay, so, and I am building a business on the side, so we're good. But I do think there is a lack of people saying what's on their mind at work, and I genuinely believe this is the reason that I'm becoming successful, and it's the first time that I really feel like, fuck, I'm gonna smash this. I'm gonna be something, you know? Not even something in a way of a big name. I just feel like I'm on a path where I'm going to open, do you know what I mean, opportunity for, well, I am already opening opportunity for myself, and it's really exciting, and it's all because I stand my ground and I say what's on my mind in terms of I'm really good at what I do, and I really hold myself to a high regard in terms of quality of output and work and the delivery of work that I do. And if I work with someone that is not amazing, this is going to run out of battery, I think. If I work with someone that I think is not amazing, I literally just say, it didn't run out of battery, it just stopped after 25 minutes. That means I need to go. What was I saying? Oh, I was saying about if I'm now confident enough in my work and know that I work to a really high level, that if I work with someone and they're either taken away, because what I do is really fast paced, like it's quick. So if I'm working with someone who is taken away from what I'm doing, or they just negative vibes, or they're not speaking the same language as me, or they're making someone in my team's life a misery, I just don't want to work with them, so I don't. And so you've got to really back yourself and be confident enough to say what you want, to say what the delivery is, and to speak your mind at work. And if you're not, look, I appreciate I'm now a bit more senior, but when I was junior, I wouldn't do that, and I'd end up having like a bad attitude or be rude to someone because I didn't know what I was doing, or I felt frustrated. Whereas now I know how to articulate myself, and I've done the hard work. And so what I would say to you, if you are in your 20s or even early 30s, like I'm in my early 30s and I still try and do this all the time, but just try and speak up what's on your mind. Do you know another tip that I would recommend if you kind of want to get good in your career? One thing that I've done since I've started working in YouTube is, because I didn't know anything and I just kind of got thrown in at the deep end, which honestly is my favourite place to be because it's where you learn and you grow so much. I kind of just went away and I figured it all out, and I went quiet for a bit. And if you work in an environment that's really noisy and it's loud and there's a lot of opinions and there's a lot of people, and I'm not saying that's my situation, I'm just saying that it can be overwhelming when you're in the deep end a little bit. I honestly just went away literally for like a year, and I can still be quite like in my own little world now. And I just shut myself off and I just figured it out. And that is where you really start to like connect with yourself at work and just speak to, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 key people that you need to communicate with all the time. Let them know what you're doing, ask them for support, and then slowly your confidence builds. And I think sometimes like there's some companies where everyone's involved in everything, or you might not have enough of a team and you might not have the expertise. So you'd have to go and figure it out yourself. And so going away and sitting in a corner for a little bit of time until you figure it out is so rewarding. Like when you come back and whatever you're doing starts to pay off or starts to perform, or you get really good at what you're doing, or you become an expert in your field, like the fact that you went away and learned how to do that is so impressive. And again, like your actions speak for you then in the workplace. And if your company don't recognize that, that's on them. Like genuinely that's on them. But going away and like figuring your stuff out and then coming back and being an expert, that is honestly so rewarding, and it gets recognised. Like, this is literally the journey that I'm on at the minute. I'm kind of coming to a full circle moment where I'm like, oh my God, people actually think I'm good at this. Like, I thought I was good at this, but other people think I'm good at this. I'm fine if that's other people validating me and that makes me feel better, then I'm here for it. But genuinely, there is no better feeling. It's so nice to know that other people, especially people who are good in the same industry as you, come over to you and take time out of their day to be like, you're doing a really sick job. Especially like, because what I do with YouTube, it's all external facing, and there's not, I know there's a lot of channels on YouTube, this one, but there's not tons and tons in what I do. And so it's really good when people come over and give you praise for it, because people are watching, it's external, so it's a bit scary sometimes, but honestly it's so rewarding. So I'm gonna wrap up because I've been talking for a long time and I feel like I'm fiercely talked at you. I'm gonna edit this tomorrow and be like, none of this makes sense, but I'm sure it does, and I'm sure you will have got some of my passion for my career, because honestly, when I wrote it on LinkedIn the other day, like when I was 25, I genuinely wish that I would have just trusted myself, because it's all now starting to come together and it's starting to work out, and you know, the money comes. Like, genuinely, don't stress. If you're not like super money orientated, some people are like entrepreneurs at 21 and they want to be millionaires and whatever. If that's not you, don't stress about the money, because if you get really good at what you do, the money comes. Like, people start to recognize you, and it does come if you believe in yourself enough. So don't stress about that. Just just focus on being really good and being a good person and holding yourself to a high regard. Like, be strong in your word and don't let people fuck you around, because honestly, people, did I talk about boundaries as well? Actually, and that's another video. I'm going to talk about boundaries in another video, but that's another thing. Like, I feel like women get the piss taken out of them at work way more than men, because we allow it. Like, I'm gonna say it out loud because I do it, and I used to do it way more, but I allowed it, and that's on me. Like, I was the one who was sat there for hours after I should have been, or putting in way too much time than I should have been, or working harder than everyone else. Working hard is a bit different, but it was all on me. Do you know what I mean? I took the shit because I didn't have the balls to speak up. And when I think it comes with age a little bit as well, but like when you start to get a little bit older and when you start to back yourself a little bit more, like I said, go away, do the work, come back and be confident in what you're doing, then you start to trust yourself and you start to become way more secure, and then you start to be able to speak your mind a little bit and say what you need. So yeah, sorry, that was a massive ramble, a big old rant, and I really hope it makes sense, and I do really hope you found something useful from it. But if not, then we go again next week, don't we? But yeah, if you are struggling in your career, or if you need career advice, please let me know, because I can help. I have been around the houses, and I am 33. I know I look about 12, but I am 33, and I'm really at like a pinnacle exciting point in my career, and I've built it myself. So if anyone needs any help, any support, let me know and we can chat. Please come back to my DMs, because I'm loving the combos that we're having in there about the videos, and about how you guys are feeling about yourselves. Like, it's really interesting that we're connecting on the same topic. So yeah, come back next week, and if you don't already, please subscribe to the channel. And yeah, I love you. Goodbye.